Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused, guilty, or manipulated without knowing why? What if I told you some people study psychological techniques specifically designed to control emotions, influence decisions, and manipulate behavior? This is called dark psychology. And the scary part? You've probably experienced it today without even realizing it. From toxic relationships to social media to advertising, dark psychology is everywhere. In this video, we're exposing the most dangerous manipulation tactics people use every single day and how you can protect yourself before it's too late. Because the final tactic on this list is so powerful, it can completely destroy someone's sense of reality. Dark psychology is the study of manipulation, persuasion, deception, and influence used to control other people. Unlike normal psychology, which helps people improve mental health and understand behavior, dark psychology focuses on exploiting human weaknesses. Manipulators understand something important. Most people make decisions emotionally, not logically. That means if someone can control your emotions, they can often control your actions. Dark psychology appears in toxic relationships, scams, cults, interrogations, sales tactics, politics, social media algorithms, even friendships. And the worst manipulators rarely look dangerous. They often appear charming, confident, intelligent, and trustworthy. That's what makes them so effective. The first dark psychology tactic is called love bombing. This happens when someone overwhelms you with attention, compliments, affection, and validation very quickly. They text constantly. They say you're special. They make you feel like you've finally found someone who understands you. But here's the truth. It's not always love. Sometimes it's emotional conditioning. The manipulator creates intense emotional dependency early on, so later they can control you more easily. Once they know you're attached, the behavior changes. The compliments disappear. The affection becomes inconsistent. And suddenly, you start chasing the version of them you met in the beginning. That emotional roller coaster creates addiction. Your brain starts craving their approval. One of the most dangerous manipulation tactics ever created is gaslighting. Gaslighting is when someone makes you question your memory, emotions, or reality. For example, that never happened. You're overreacting. You're imagining things. You're crazy. Over time, the victim becomes confused and emotionally dependent on the manipulator for what's true. That's the goal: control. Because once someone doubts their own mind, they become easier to manipulate. This tactic is common in abusive relationships, toxic workplaces, cults, and even online communities. And the terrifying part: gaslighting often happens slowly, so slowly victims don't realize it until their confidence is completely destroyed. Another powerful dark psychology trick is the silent treatment. Most people think silence is harmless, but manipulators use silence as punishment, ignoring messages, withdrawing affection, acting emotionally cold. Why? Because humans fear emotional rejection. The manipulator understands that silence creates anxiety, and eventually the victim becomes desperate to fix the situation. Even when they did nothing wrong, this shifts power to the manipulator. Suddenly the victim apologizes first, chases validation, and becomes emotionally controlled. But the next tactic is even more disturbing because millions of people willingly fall for it every day without noticing. Humans naturally follow crowds. Psychologists call this social proof. If thousands of people believe something, our brains assume it must be true. Manipulators exploit this constantly. Fake followers, fake reviews, fake popularity, fake authority. Even scammers use social proof to appear trustworthy. That's why people buy products they don't need, follow trends they don't understand, and defend influencers they've never met. Your brain is wired to seek safety in groups. Manipulators know this, and social media has made this tactic more powerful than ever before. Fear is one of the strongest emotional weapons in dark psychology. Fear shuts down logic. When people are afraid, they react emotionally instead of rationally. That's why manipulative people create urgency. Act now. Limited time. You'll lose everything. Nobody else will want you. Fear keeps victims trapped because fear creates dependency. Even governments, media outlets, advertisers, and cult leaders have historically used fear to influence massive groups of people. A fearful mind is easier to control. This may be the most addictive manipulation tactic of all. Intermittent reinforcement. Instead of giving affection consistently, the manipulator gives it randomly. Sometimes they're loving, sometimes cold, sometimes supportive, sometimes distant. And strangely, that inconsistency makes people more emotionally attached. Why? Because the human brain becomes obsessed with unpredictable rewards. It's the same psychological mechanism behind gambling addiction. You keep hoping the good version of the person will return, and that hope traps people in toxic situations for years. So how do you protect yourself from dark psychology? First, pay attention to patterns, not words. Manipulators often say beautiful things, but their actions reveal the truth. Second, trust your discomfort. If someone consistently leaves you confused, anxious, guilty, or emotionally drained, that's a warning sign. Third, strengthen your self-awareness. Manipulators target emotional vulnerabilities. The more emotionally secure you become, the harder you are to control. And finally, never confuse manipulation with intelligence. True intelligence builds people up. Dark psychology destroys people from the inside out. If this video opened your eyes, make sure to subscribe for more videos on psychology, manipulation, human behavior, and the hidden tactics people use every day. And comment below, what's the most manipulative tactic you've ever experienced? You might help someone else recognize the warning signs before it's too late.